shake.
Yo, what's up guys? It is Bethesda coming at you, and today is Wednesday, so you know what that means. It is not hump day, it is story time with Bethesda, your one and only, and boy do I have quite a story for you. So as some of you know, Saturday I went to Jackson, Tennessee to go see a band called Artifice. They had a new album release, and it was a really good show. It's probably the best show I've ever been to. This is all about what happened afterwards, because if you watched my video from Sunday, it was a recap, it was a vlog from what happened Saturday, and just my day then. What happened was actually pretty fun, because oh snap. Saturday, after the show was done, which the show ended at around 2 a.m., and you know, anything after 2 a.m. doesn't end well. My older sister, who's married, is pregnant, and she was having a craving for some breakfast waffle, something like that. So my brother-in-law, went to go get her some breakfast foods. There, we went to Kroger's. I went ahead and just bought a Dr. Pepper while I was there, and after I bought my Dr. Pepper, I went outside, I was heading towards the car, and there was an old guy out there. So he was a rambler. I've never met anybody who talked as much as him, as fast as him, with as conscious stream of thought as him. It was very intriguing. I go outside after I got my Dr. Pepper. I am watching what's going on before my eyes, because what he's doing is he's kind of following this woman. So it's kind of weird. I think I just saw somebody. Well, I did. And so I come outside. She gets in her vehicle and she takes off. I come up right behind him, and he starts talking to me immediately. And he's just kind of like, do you work here? No, obviously I don't. I live an hour away from there. He asked me, do I work there? No, I don't, sir. So, and the woman that he was following, he asked me if I knew her. And, well, he doesn't know that I don't live there. So I have to tell him, no, I don't know her. I'm not sure who she is. And so we just get to talking. I had just bought an Artifice hat. So he asked me what that was about, and I told him that I had just gotten out of a rock show. Oh, that was pretty good. Man. I had just gotten out of a rock show, and he's just sitting there talking to me. This dude doesn't want to die. He starts talking to me, and I introduce myself to him. My name is Jeremiah. What is up? How are you? What is your name? I introduced myself. He introduced himself as Woodrow Wilson George Washington, another president's name, and then his last name was a Hagen. And it was pretty interesting, because this guy was all over the place. He was talking, like I said, he was talking about Hillary Clinton and how he told me that, yeah, Hillary Clinton, if she's still in term and I become president in 2020, then I'm going to give her a piece of my mind and I'm going to kick her out of the office and blah, blah, blah. It was just very interesting what he was saying, talking about running for presidency and all of that. Don't really know where it came up. Like I said, I wasn't really paying that much attention. Wow, I can't believe I just did that. I wasn't paying that much attention to him because I could tell that something was a little weird. But as he was talking to me, I began to realize that this dude was a lot stranger than what I thought he was, to the point to where he was talking to me about running a business. He wanted to know if he could hire me to do some work for him. He said, hey, if you come work for me, I'll give you $250,000 a year. And then he asked me if I was good at keyboards, and if I was good at people, and if I was, could I be a project manager, and could I do this and that? And if I could be a project manager, could I work for $400,000 a year, and could I get by on that, and all of that kind of stuff. It was really weird, okay? Hey. It was really weird, and it just got to a point to where, as we were talking about project management, suddenly out of nowhere, he brought up personal secretaries, and because I'd be making the big bucks and I'd need personal secretaries to take care of my investments and blah blah blah, all of that kind of stuff, you know. And that's whenever he started talking about women, and he was saying, you know, if you're gonna see this woman, do not marry her because you'd be making a mistake. And he was very specific on the kind of women. I'm not going to talk about those kind of women. He was saying, don't marry these kind of women. If you want to, just go ahead and sleep with them. But in my mind, I'm thinking like, whoa, this is just like a weird turn from presidency to being hired to sleeping with specific kinds of women, but not marrying them. And he was just saying, you know, like, if you're going to sleep with them, where I'm thinking, I'm a virgin. I'm waiting till marriage. So, like, I'm not really that concerned about it. And he was like, but I've already got a personal secretary, and her name is Dominique. So, don't you dare lay a finger on her, because if you... And he looked straight at me for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I look like that kind of guy. I'm not. Oh, let me get the kill. Well, I'm not that kind of guy at all. I would never hound on another guy's girl or anything like that. But he's saying, don't mess with Dominique. Don't you lay a finger on her. And he asked me, he goes, you know why? Because she carries a knife in her sock and she'll stab you. And I'm, okay, well, I don't want to get stabbed. Oh, come on. Come on. Well, I don't want to get stabbed. So, obviously, I'm going to stay away from this girl named Dominique, whoever she is. I don't know who she is. So, I feel like I'm in a pretty safe place simply because I don't know this Dominique. She's probably imaginary knowing this guy. But it was literally at this time that he says, don't lay a finger on Dominique, that I realized, oh my gosh, this guy has a hospital wristband on. There's no telling what can happen. My sister works, she's as a registered nurse at one of the hospitals there in Jackson, Tennessee, and she said that there are always patients trying to get out of the hospital, constantly trying to come up with lies and escape and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, this might be one of those guys, you know, this might be one of those escapees. Maybe he got away, I don't know. I'm really not that sure. Honestly, he looked a little homeless, and so it's kind of weird. But then it got to a point to where he was talking about this woman who spread her legs on an old movie, and it showed everything and blah blah blah. And it was at that moment that I was like, okay, I need to get away from this guy. But it was at that moment that I realized, man, I need to get away from this guy. He's weird and could be potentially dangerous. He definitely wasn't all there. He was just crazy. That's the end of my story time with you. I hope you found it entertaining, guys. If you have any interesting stories from over the weekend or just in your life where you've met somebody similar to that, that's just kind of weird or crazy, not all there, that you've had a good long conversation with that you couldn't seem to get away from, then I want to know about it. This is your boy, Bethesda, signing out. I'll see you later. Have a great week.